even though time gets a little interesting around eclipse season, okay? So if you're just joining me, hello. Hi, Zira. This is Abigail Barella with Sparkle and Shine Guidance, and I'm going to be talking about the astrology and the energetics of these 2021. We're halfway. This is like the halfway point. Wow. June 21st is the halfway point. But here we are at the midway through the year eclipses. And this is the time period where we are clearing out the last 6 months. And wow, what a journey we've been on these last 6 months together, right? And then at the June 10th eclipses, I'll talk about more sowing the cycle, sowing the seeds of change. But for now, for this eclipse, which is next week, May 26th, we had the last quarter moon yesterday in Virgo. And no, actually, I'm wrong. And I was very surprised by this. The last quarter moon was actually, because it was actually the end of Taurus season. And so it was actually in Leo, which I thought was interesting because this is a fire full moon. And we had the first quarter moon actually in that fire sign. So what this means, what is fire? The element of fire is purification, transformation, and courage. The free will. And that fire in our hearts. And so this is a lot to do with our own personal transformation and how we transform a society, how we transform the different structural systems that are in place. This is especially true because Sagittarius, so this full moon eclipse, it's a lunar eclipse, May 26th, it's in 5 degrees of Sagittarius, which is the early degrees of Sagittarius. So you want to see where this falls in your house system. And if you have any planets or personal points there or in other fire signs or in other mutable signs. Now, if they're in other mutable signs, it's going to be creating a square or an opposition. And right now we just have a lot of mutable energy, which is change. I already talked about this, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but this is what the season is about. And the more that we can surrender to our old standards or old ways of thinking, the more we're going to be able to cleanse and purify and clear out. So Sagittarius has to do with expansion, growth, learning from others, learning from history, philosophical, and kind of looking at morals and moral codes and where they come from. This expansion is also having to do with travel, and we have the galactic center at 27 degrees of Sagittarius, which connects us to all other galaxies. Now, this full moon isn't conjunct that galactic center, but I bring that forward because Sagittarian energy in general connects us to our galactic family. It connects us to this higher knowledge and this higher knowing and the laws of the universe. Now, as that is coming through and this lunar eclipse is happening, it highlights different things that are happening at the lower level in society, such as like coercion of medical freedom and all of these different things that we're being confronted with, and having to really reach higher and look at a big picture thinking, what this is setting the course for, and whether or not we want to partake in the system in the way that it's functioning for now. So hello, if you're just joining me, we're talking about the full moon that's happening next week. It's in 5 degrees of Sagittarius, and I'm talking about themes with Sagittarius. So it has to do with higher truths, higher knowing, really being able to see the big picture and not just what's right in front of you. Being able to see that if we step forward in one way, it might lead us down a path that we might not want to go. And if we go a different way, then we'll be led a different way that might lead us to somewhere more promising. So we're at this crossroads as a collective, as a society. And the Sagittarius full moon also has to do with foreign affairs. And if we look at what's happening in the state of the world, there's a lot that's happening that Some gets a lot of attention and some doesn't get a lot. And this also has to do with that polarity, because the North Node is in Gemini. Gemini has to do with commerce, our news, our medical system, communications, all of that. And then Sagittarius has to do with the political system, higher knowledge, the college system, philosophical and sometimes religious beliefs. So that polarity point is really highlighted. And at this lunar eclipse, it's at the south node. And whenever we have an eclipse on the south node, the idea of cleansing with any full moon at an eclipse is amplified. There's more to clear out. There's more to shed. There's more to clean out of our cupboards and our bodies, all of that purification, detoxification. Now, when that eclipse, it's already high release point energy, is at the south node, which has to do with our collective history together, our karma together, there is a lot getting cleared out, and there's a lot that wants to be cleared out, but it needs an avenue. It needs a way to clear. So what are ways that you like to utilize in order to clear energy, excess energy from your fields? How do you like to purify and transform? I mean, having a fire is a great way to honor and release and just create that release for yourself and for others, because this is in Sagittarius, which is mutable fire, and having a fire can be a great way to do this. Whatever rituals or things that you have to do that are going to help you to purge and purify. So maybe doing some kind of cleanse with your body, eating healthier in this next week, drinking more water than normal is definitely recommended for this next week. What other things can you do to take care of your physical body, your energetic body, and your mental body? Because there is just a lot that wants to be cleared away, and if we're not giving it the space or the time that it needs, we won't get this opportunity again. I don't think it's going to happen in Sagittarius again. So this is the final eclipse on Sagittarius's sign with the South Node in Sagittarius. So if there's anything that you need to leave in the past, if there's anything that you'd like the collective to leave in our history and not bring forward into the future, this is the time to create some kind of ritual or space in your life to do that. So whatever that is, give yourself the space to do that. The intensity is so high, and there are so many things that are pressured upon us right now, and none of it is necessary in this next week. In this next week, the more that you can go offline, tune into yourself, do the things that you need to do to purify, clear out, release, you're going to be a happier human, and you're going to make it through this time period with so much fresh energy and so much new energy to bring to the collective future. So honor yourself, honor this time, honor that this is the final and most powerful eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius that we will have for the next 18 years. Now, in this way. Now we have, in 9 years, we might get Sagittarius eclipses, but they won't be on the South Node. This South Node eclipse won't happen again for 18 years. So with that being said, there's no greater reason than that to honor your body, honor yourself, honor your energy and how far you've come, and release as much as you can from your past, from rigid ideas around thinking, with your learning, with your knowledge, with your inner intuition, any places where you were told not to think a certain way or not to believe certain things, that is a form of abuse. It's a form of abuse. You are a sovereign being with a unique way of thinking that we need. We need humans to be unique. We need them to have unique ways of thinking. So honor yourself, honor your unique way of seeing the world, anyone that's trying to tell you that you cannot believe certain things, that is a form of abuse. And so just acknowledge and give thanks to your unique way of seeing things, and really find a way to release any kind of programming, conditional beliefs, or programs that are running that are keeping you from celebrating your unique way of seeing the world. So Sagittarius is mutable fire. It's the final fire sign of the zodiac, and therefore has access to that galactic knowledge, that information that doesn't always seem grounded because it's not from Earth. So, but we still need it. We still need it. Hi, if you're just joining me, we're talking about the Sagittarius eclipse next week, May 26th. And you want to know where 5 degrees of Sagittarius is in your natal chart. Look it up, know where it's happening. And then I want to talk about the other transits and aspects that this is making, because it's a lot. So we have the sun over in Gemini now, and we have Mercury and Venus and the North Node also in Gemini as well at this time. And the other thing that we want to notice is that the moon is squaring Jupiter, which is newly in, I'm like, of course I don't have my glasses on. Let me squint a little bit. Hi guys, if you're just joining me, we're talking about this crazy powerful eclipse next week, and how we're all being launched into releasing things that we thought maybe we'd hold on to forever, that we thought maybe we believed to be the complete and honest truth, but now we have to see another side to the story. We have to review our beliefs, and what that causes us to do is to question everything that we thought we knew. So Jupiter is newly into, I just got the chills. Jupiter is newly into Pisces, and Jupiter in Pisces is expanding into your own unique way of connecting with source, with spirit. This is creating a T-square for the eclipse. And this T-square at an eclipse is already a huge high frequency of clearing. It's just like purification. And when that's happening, we need to honor that. And on top of that, to have a T-square with Jupiter. Jupiter is a lovely planet of expansion, and it is the ruler of Sagittarius. So if we're thinking about this, it's a challenge, but it's challenging us to expand into our inner knowing. It's challenging us if we can truly trust ourselves enough to fully expand into love, fully expand into the truth, because everything else is an illusion. And the only shadow side that I will say about Jupiter being in Pisces is that if you are letting anything outside of yourself take power of your way of thinking, or take control of your way of thinking, it can lead you to deception, delusions. And this is especially true when we think about strong government beliefs or religious beliefs, or any kind of beliefs that is you have to go through another source outside of you to connect with spirit, to connect with God. My belief is that God is within each and every one of us, so we only need to tune into our intuition and to tune into ourselves to connect with that. The belief that we have to connect to anything outside of ourselves to be sane, to be healthy, to flourish in society, or to be able to make it to a certain place, that's all an illusion. So looking at where this T-square is highlighting in your chart, so we're looking at the early degrees of the mutable signs, and what this lunar eclipse is asking us to do in order to release, in order to purify and clear out and just really be in our own energy, is to lean into the Virgo energy, and wherever Virgo is in your chart, to connect with the earth, to make ourselves healthy food, to make ourselves some, strong herbal elixirs or something like that. Like, the Virgo energy is the earthy, witchy energy. And someone else mentioned that Ceres is conjunct, where is Ceres? Ceres isn't yet, but Ceres is going to come in conjunct Uranus, which is, Ceres is another aspect to that earth goddess energy. And so when she does, which is going to be later on, closer to, I think it's even after the second eclipse, which we'll have June 10th. It'll be a new moon eclipse. I'll make another video about that, so we won't have to go too all over the place. But because of that, the element of our food, nourishing our bodies, and connecting with the earth is very highlighted at this time. So whatever you can do to honor that connection at this time is going to help you to clear out. And again, I will just, another reminder, if you're just joining me, drink lots of water at this time, because we are just naturally purifying and clearing out. I'm going to pull a few cards. I don't want to talk about too many other transits happening, even though there are a few that are happening. But I feel as though the most important thing to mention is that T-square. And, you know, even though it is a wide orb T-square, it's Jupiter and newly into Neptune, I was going to say, newly into Pisces is really highlighted because Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is where this is happening for the eclipse. So definitely make sure that you understand the elements of Jupiter, and if you want to learn more about that, there's so many resources that you can do that. And definitely know where the early degrees of the mutable signs falls in your chart so that you can have more clarity. Okay, I'm going to pull a few cards just for the collective, and whoever's watching this video now or going to watch it in the future for this lunar eclipse, which again, a lunar eclipse is a full moon eclipse, and it is all about purification, cleansing, clearing, and it can be uncomfortable because it forces us to, when we clear something out, often we have to look at it in order to clear it out. We have to see it, we have to feel it, and then we can clear it out. So in order to do that, it requires us to feel. And a lot of people spend a long time in their life running from the feelings or numbing the feelings. So yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable. And I do recommend that this full moon is a really amazing time to detox from interacting with people that you don't need to, that is not something that feeds you. Take a little break. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to unplug, right? Okay, because you are the creator of your reality. You are creator of your life. My voice did something weird. I need to drink something. You are the creator of your life. I can drop a tea left. Okay, one more. I'm going to do two more cards, I feel like. Two more cards for this lunar eclipse in early degrees of Sag. You might need to seek guidance. You also might need to ask for help or ask for guidance. Pray. As you're like praying, think about how you can ask for help in clearing and whatever needs to be cleared from your system. And if you want my guidance, I'm doing an amazing group journey starting June 1st. It's an 11-day journey. If you want to know more about it, message me. I'll send you the details. The last, thank you, Maggie. So the last day to get the earlier registration is on the 23rd, which, believe it or not, the lighting is so strange right now. Hold on. There. Except that I have to do that. Is it your birthday? Oh, happy birthday. Okay, so what was I saying? I forget what I was saying, but something. I was saying something. I'm going to do one more card. Ooh, oh, this is so Sag and fiery energy. Is using your creativity, using this energy to create and to write or to draw or to paint or to, like, I am planting my garden and like getting all creative about what I want to see growing where. So utilizing your creativity Oh, June 1st is your birthday. Oh yeah, I was talking about that journey. So yeah, if you're interested in that group journey and you want some guidance, it's about opening our hearts, opening to love, and opening to the divine through opening our hearts. Yes, disarmoring our heart so that we can create more art. So if you're interested in that, reach out. Otherwise, yes, utilizing your creativity, getting guidance if you need it from source, from maybe a mentor or a healer that you trust, reaching out to friends that you know you can count on if you're having a hard time. A lot of people are having a hard time, so you are not alone. These energies are intense, and I tend to go through things a little bit earlier, and when I felt this eclipse energy, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And then I was like, oh, I made it through, and I was like, oh yeah, we can totally do this. We totally got this. So if you're in a moment where you're like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, I don't know if I want to do this, get outside, earth, ground, go to somewhere. I went to the river that day and connected with the river's energy, and I was like, oh, this makes it so much better being in nature. Because a lot of times we'll try to force ourselves to get through the day, or we'll try to force ourselves to get some work done. And sometimes what we really need is to detach from that in order to plug back in and be able to do the thing. So really honoring and respecting yourself in this journey and what you truly need is going to be the way. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to cover. And of course, there's always going to be more. There's going to be more coming through. So maybe I'll do another live. And I hope you guys all take good care of yourself and your space and your mental health and your energetic health and your family. So take good care. Thank you for being here. I love you all.